Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Makar Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule impeccably well. And Shalom to the Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. This is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch. This will serve as a brief video inspired by this video that you see here on the screen. And, I basically came across the video while browsing on YouTube, watching certain videos, and, the spirit had led me to this video that you see here on the screen that's entitled Hakka Chinese Jamaican. And, as you can see, it was uploaded back in 2011, and in the description box you can see here it says Chinese Jamaicans are Jamaican people of Chinese ancestry, which include descendants of migrants from China to Jamaica. Early migrants came in the 19th century. There was another wave of migration in the 1980s and 1990s. Many of the descendants of early migrants have moved abroad, primarily to Canada and the United States. Most Chinese Jamaicans are Hakka and can trace their origin to the coolies and laborers who came to Jamaica in the mid-19th to early 20th centuries, okay? Now, I've done a video, in the past regarding, the communities that you have in the land of Japan. You actually have, a small community of people in Japan who identify heavily with the spirit of Benjamin, all right? The so-called, West Indians, primarily the Jamaicans. They heavily identify with, the Jamaican culture and the Jamaican music. And, when you watch that video, there's a few videos online on YouTube, showing you, those so-called Japanese, and, showing them in a club, listening to dancehall music, reggae music, and you can clearly see that these people are Israelites, okay? You can clearly see that they're Israelites, by reading their spirit. And one thing, when we come into this faith, we begin to get better at reading spirits and identifying that of a heathen and that of an Israelite spirit, all right? We're able to do that. We're able to discern spirits, and we're able to, feel out who's of our people and who is not, And when you watch this video that I have here loaded on the screen called Hakka Chinese Jamaican, you're going to clearly see that these so-called Chinese guys have to be Israelites. And you can tell that by looking at their spirit, their mannerisms, the way they talk. You can tell that these are Israelites. Now, I've been around, Chinese people who biblically are known as Moabites. I've been around Chinese people, and I can say for myself, and I'm sure there's brothers out there that can attest to the same comment that I'm about to make. Chinese people lack they lack substance, okay? Moabites lack substance. They have a very, bland and how can I put this? They have a very bland and spiritless presence about them, okay? And that's with, the vast majority of Moabites that I've come across in my lifetime upon the face of the earth. They have a very bland and spiritless aura about themselves, okay? So when you come across one that appears to be a Moabite, that appears to be a so-called Chinese, and then you see such, character, animation, and flavor, you can clearly identify through the spirit that that is not a Moabite, okay? You can clearly identify that. But without further delay, I'm going to play a few parts of this video, and, you know, you brothers can, you know, also, you know, be the judge, because, you know, we're in a time where there's going to be a large manifestation of Israelites that don't look like Israelites coming upon the scene. We have camps throughout the four corners of the globe, you know, in different nations upon the earth, and there's a lot of guys out there, you know, men, you know, hopeful men of the elect that are pushing this truth that don't look like Israelites. You know, we have a brother, you know, in our camp by the name of Napash. You know, he doesn't look like an Israelite, a so-called, you know, Israelite, as you would expect. You know, he looks like a so-called white man, okay? But when you're around this brother, all right, and you survey his spirit, you're going to clearly understand that that brother is indeed, you know, from the loins of Jacob, okay? And that's why we got to be spiritual, okay? That's why we got to be spiritual, because there's no way you're going to have individuals pushing his truth in sincerity, all right, and going to be heathens, all right? That's not possible. But let me play this video, and then we'll get into a few scriptures. Oh, and by the way, there's a lot of you know, controversy in Jamaica, you know, within the last year or two, concerning, you know, the actual Moabites that are out there that exploit the Jamaican people, all right, the tribe of Benjamin, concerning, you know, business and, you know, selling, you know, their own, you know, products to them. All right, there's a big conspiracy about it. There's a big uproar regarding the treatment that these Moabites are, you know, how these Moabites are dealing with, you know, the Jamaicans over there, man. All right, because they basically come over, they set up businesses, and they're not giving back to the community. All right, they go back to the, you know, to their own land. They go back to China, and they dump all the money in China, you know, while they're making, you know, a substantial amount of money, you know, in the islands. And, you know, none of the so-called Jamaicans are profiting off of them being there. So basically they're coming to the realization that, you know, they're just raping them, you know, for their opportunities, and they're not giving back to the community. Okay, so there's a big uproar about that. And then, you know, when you survey those Moabites, you can clearly see that they're actually Moabites, and they're there to take advantage of the people and the situation that's presented itself. You can clearly see that. All right, they don't, you know, mix with the Benjamites over there. All right, they separate themselves, and they have their own communities, and they're solely there just to make money. But then when you come across the other so-called Moabites, you know, that are over there in the land of Jamaica, they get all into the culture. They get all into the dancehall. They get all into DJing. You know, you have a sound system over there in Jamaica, you know, by the name of Black Chinese. You know, which are two, you know, so-called Chinese guys that have basically made a name for themselves over there in the land of Jamaica, okay? You know, they do the clashings and that, you know, they're well known over there, Black Chinese. You know, you can YouTube them and you'll see, you know, and when you watch the interview of them guys, you'll see that these guys are definitely Israelites, but they look like Moabites, man, okay?
Reggae music is an expression, right? Whichever way you're feeling or a message that you're trying to relay, it's coming from the heart, right? So there's no right or wrong way that you can present something. As long as it's coming from the heart, it's pure. Said we're crying out today, you see another disaster. So whether it be dancehall, hip hop, R&B, whatever comes out of Chinatown. It's a voice that's giving that reggae flavor. In Chinatown, you can't hold us down to one kind of music.
Chinatown sound is a world sound. All the things that they...
And you can clearly see, by watching the way they sing, watching the way they move, their spirit, you can clearly see that these guys are Israelites, man. Okay? These guys are Israelites, but they have the appearance of a common Moabite. Okay? But when you look how they talk, how they sing, how they interact with each other and other Jake that look like Jake, you can clearly see there is no difference concerning the spirits. Okay? And that's why they're so easily blended when it comes to being around, Benjamites, man, because they're probably Benjamites themselves. You see, the Lord has given, Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, a special spirit as to where our spirit stands out. No matter, what body, what flesh is hosted in, you're going to be able to identify an Israelite just by looking at his spirit. All right, now let me get Deuteronomy 7 and 6. All right, because we're a special people. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. Okay? So the Lord chose us to be a holy people, all right? A separate people. Okay? So we are different, all right? We have a different spirit in comparison to the other nations that are upon the face of the earth, the other heathen nations. So when you see an Israelite man or an Israelite woman, there's going to be a clear spiritual difference when you compare it to that of a heathen, to that of a Moabite, an Ammonite, okay, an Elamite, and especially an Edomite, okay? You're going to see a clear difference in the vibration and the spirit that person is coming. And it goes deep because it also goes into the ability, the talent, things that we can do in comparison to the other nations. Why? Because we're a special people unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and we are the apple of his eye, okay? So, of course, all right, the Lord is going to make us to be above all nations that are upon the face of the earth, as it says here in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Okay? Now, let's get Romans 8 and verse 16. Okay? This is Romans 8 and verse 16. And it reads, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. Okay, so the Spirit itself beareth witness of our spirit. So all of the prophecies that are written of the Israelites in this book, it bears witness with our spirit that we are the chosen. Okay, because these prophecies, the things that are written aforetime for our learning, okay, they match up perfectly with the things that we've experienced upon the face of the earth concerning being scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. Okay. So the Spirit beareth witness that we are the chosen people of the Most High. No other nation upon the face of the earth can tick these boxes that's spoken of in Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15 on down. Okay? And as I mentioned that, let me get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64, because we were scattered. Okay? We were scattered throughout the four corners of the globe, and that's part of the curses, man. Okay? And that's part of the reason why we look like the other nations. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there shalt thou serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Okay? So our people, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and also the ones of you that don't identify, all right, with those nationalities that are on the sign, all right, because you're scattered throughout other nations, you are still Israelites, okay? according to the Spirit. Okay? Because you have brothers that are from, the west coast of Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, from particular tribes, and they are Israelites, even though they're not on the sign. Okay? You have Israelites over there in Ireland. You have Israelites in Scotland. You literally have Israelites throughout the four corners of the globe, man. Okay? What's important is the Spirit. So, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. So we are among all people upon the face of the earth. You have Israelites over there in the land of India. Okay? The untouchables. A lot of the Punjabi, the apostles always go into that. A lot of Punjabis over here in the UK and over there in India are actually Israelites, man. Okay? You can tell by the music that they make. It has, a particular rhythm. You can tell by their style. Okay? So there is indications out there, man. Okay? And the scriptures tell you that the Lord, the Lord don't seeth as man seeth. I think that's in the book of Samuel's, man. How am I going to find this now? If I can remember the wording, outward appearance. All right, there it is. Lord willing, it'll come up. All right, Kala Yabashim Yashai. This is 1 Samuel 16 and verse 7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Okay, so the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is not judging a man or a woman according to how they look, according to, the tone of their skin. The Lord is judging according to the spirit of an individual, man. Whether you are an Israelite or whether you are a heathen. Okay, that's how Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is judging an individual upon the spirit. Okay? Because everything is spiritual, man. All right. Now let's get a few more scriptures and then we'll close out. This is Sirach chapter 33 and verse 10. Let's start from verse 10. And all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge the Lord have divided them and made their ways diverse. Okay, so the Lord have divided all nations upon the face of the earth and have made our ways diverse. Okay, he has made distinctions between, the spirits of the Israelites, the spirits of the chosen, and the spirits of the heathen, and especially the spirits of the Edomites, who are the wicked that the Bible speaks of, man, that the Bible speaks of. Okay, he has made clear distinctions, between the people upon the face of the earth, man. Okay, and it's a spiritual thing. So it says, some of them have he blessed and exalted, and some of them have he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned out their places, man. And that's ultimately going to be the wicked Esau Edom. Okay, but the ones that he have set near himself, that's the apple of his eye, which is the nation of Israel, man. You Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and anyone that goes back to Yaquab, all right, to our forefather Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, man. Okay, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Until next time. Shalom.
Children growing up, they put it all together to create what they have right today. Coming from a Jamaican background, being in Canada, hearing all genre music.